But
Tell you what.
here we are again, happy as can be, or something. So, and this is the last financial meeting for the year of 2015, which has been an amazing year for the finances of this council. So, onwards and upwards. Today we're going to hear the Mayor's proposal for the annual plan, and I think councillors got a copy of that last night. I think it's a fairly basic but quite good paper myself, but I'll leave it for the Mayor to discuss that. So we have apologies from Councillor Walker, Wayne Walker, Councillor Lee and Councillor Quacks for lateness, and Councillor Crum for early departure.
So you're on here, do you want me to put it on?
Sorry?
I don't have a copy of the Mayor's proposal.
No, you have, well, you got sent it last night,
I don't have it.
Yep.
electronically.
Electronic last night.
At about 5:15. No one's got a hard copy because you don't get it
I
until
have.
the Mayor's
Yeah,
given
I
his
can
proposal. Welcome back,
Yes,
Mr.
yes.
Mayor.
I am.
Welcome.
I am.
Great to be here.
You printed it off.
I printed it off. It only got sent to half of us, so I think.
Only kidding. Right. Now. Also, can I just say at the beginning of the meeting that the workshop for tomorrow we've cancelled because I think when you see the Mayor's proposal, there's not a lot to workshop tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I thought you probably all needed a day off to do some
Yeah.
Christmas shopping. And also we'll have a quick workshop after this meeting to just discuss the rates. What am I calling it? What's it called? Online rates calculator, which, so we'll do that after this meeting. So anyway, I've moved the apologies. Have I got a seconder for those?
Second.
Thank you, Councillor Penrose. All those in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried. Declarations of interest. There were no declarations of interest. Confirmation of minutes of the meeting held on the 19th of November. I'll move those as a true and correct
second, Madam
record.
Chair.
Thank you, Councillor Cooper. All those in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried. No petitions, no public input, local board input or extraordinary business or notices of motion. We get to item number 9, disposal recommendation report, and welcome Tisha. Nice to see you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Nice to see you too. I have my colleague Caitlin Borgfeld with me today. Caitlin leads the iwi engagement work that Panuku Development Auckland undertake in a variety of different situations. Good capital.
Great.
I'm here today to discuss 11 Scott Road in Hobsonville. The report is in front of you. I won't add much to the report other than just to mention that there has been a great deal of consultation and work that has been undertaken with the local board, relevant iwi and relevant council departments regarding the wider area of the site. This particular site, the Ministry of Education wished to use for a school site. We are wanting to get approval from this committee to, as a site, as a non-service property. It hasn't been identified for another use, so we're wanting approval from this committee to be able to go forth and work with the Ministry of Education who wish to use it as a school site. So for that reason, we haven't gone through our standard process. However, in trying to be very upfront and robust in my report to this committee about the fact we hadn't gone through our standard process, I did gloss over somewhat the great deal of work that has been done with iwi and with some of the council departments in the wider area. So just to clarify, and I've had some questions come in over the past few days, this site is not one that was proposed for parks, it's not one that was proposed for housing, it's not a site that was proposed for any other council uses. So we've got no identified service uses for it, and there has been a great deal of iwi consultation that has been done regarding the wider area, just not this specific site as such.
Thank you, Councillor Fletcher.
I'm happy to move the recommendations.
Oh, thank you.
Second.
Moved by Councillor Fletcher, seconded by,
No.
sorry, moved by Councillor Cooper, seconded by Councillor Fletcher. That's fine. Councillor Watson.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm just noting the comment here that this doesn't
compromise in any way the sports field proposal that the council has. Just in terms of the wider open space network, of course, Scott's Point's going to be the subject of some quite intensive development over time. What has the Parks Department said about that in terms of the ability to acquire sufficient open space, especially given the very high cost of land here? Has there been any initial planning been done by that? And I'm thinking here particularly in terms of the proceeds of the sale, which are going to be quite substantial, I would imagine, in terms of that wider network in this general area.
Just on that, there was a couple of questions in there. I have a proposed plan for the area right in front of me, which I can table if you wish, Madam Chair. There is a proposed park site which is approximately 2 or 3 times the size of the subject site next door to this property. So that's the area that the parks team wish to have the parks. They have stated that they don't want to have any other land in this area for parks, this immediate area, and they're more than happy with what is proposed with 11 Scots Road. In respect of the proceeds of sale, we're not making any recommendation about that because the proceeds of sale have already been counted in the LTP.
Okay, so I guess I'm just putting on the record, Madam Chair, that there is a lot of development to take here that's very intensive. We all know the cost of acquiring land, so I'm just assuming that where land like this is disposed of, there's quid pro quo in terms of the wider network, and I'm not just talking about the parks that are already identified for this area, but in terms of just kick around parks and other open spaces, especially given the overall population that will reside here within the next decade. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Cooper.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And I mean, I'm very pleased. I think what I'm pleased about is that this is a really strategic purchase by Waitakere City Council at the same time as land was purchased as a land swap from Hobsonville Domain when the motorway was built and land acquired for that. We took the opportunity to purchase this, and the capital value of this is, I think, just about tripled in that time, which is quite a short time. So I think that's a really good return. And I mean, I'm sure that if it wasn't going to be acquired under the Public Works Act, we absolutely would keep it. But given there isn't a lot of choice, but at the same time, when we talk about future urban land supply or future urban, which this area was designated as that prior to this council being amalgamated, then this is the kind of thing that we need to be doing, purchasing. This wasn't, and also this was also not designated as an open space because it left it flexible, and I think that's the kind of things we need to do. If we're going to purchase land, we don't just designate open space immediately, we look for opportunities, and here's an opportunity that gives us some money to do something somewhere else or maybe nearby. So that's why I'm happy to move it. 11,000 people on Hobsonville Point, they will need another school, and as to the viability of Hobsonville School, that's a moot point. We don't know because that's an industrial area. So happy to support it, Madam Chair.
Thank you, and presumably the school will have playing fields. Thank you. Member Taipari.
Oh, thank you, Madam Chair. Just trying to understand a little bit better about the Section 50 of the Public Works Act. That's the operation of that. How is that implemented if this is not supported today in terms of the disposal?
The Ministry of Education do have the ability to take the land, much as Council has the ability to take land under the Public Works Act if it's needed for public work. The details I'd need to get some legal assistance on. I'm not an expert in the Public Works Act, so I'd have to get a legal opinion on the actual working of it, but the land can be taken under the Public Works Act. Caitlin may want to add something.
I just would add to that in conversation with the planning officers who are involved in the zoning from rural to urban and in the subdivision plans for the site, they've been working closely with the ministry on establishing exactly which of the available land would be most appropriate for a school. So this does actually follow on. It's not that they've swooped in and said, we want that. There has been close work with the council units on assessing this site.
Okay. Well, Madam Chair, I guess my view is that when it's been put in the report that that's the alternative mechanism, it would have been nice to been able to have understood what that actually meant. Sort of a one-liner doesn't help much at all, really.
Look it up.
And apologies for that. What we've balanced up is the Ministry of Education has only just recently approached us confirming that it wishes to acquire this land, and given the holidays were coming up, we've moved at incredible speed to enable us to actually work with the Ministry of Education, and saying that we haven't had the opportunity to do a lot of the background work that we normally would do, and I do sincerely apologise for that.
That's okay. I was just saying that, you know, we're then asked to sort of agree to that disposal,
Yep.
but if we don't, we're going to get taken, but we don't really know what that actually means. And one might want to know that before they actually fall over on the ground and say, okay, we'll sell it because we think it's going to get taken. So I just want to put that
Point
out there.
taken, but I think probably many of us have worked with the Public Works Act before, so. Councillor Darby.
I just, something I've said when we've treated with these disposals on a confidential agenda is, I would like to see when we have our next quarterly status report on disposals and we have those summaries of indicative values that we see on these papers and then realised actual sale numbers. I think it's really important, and I guess I'm just giving the staff some support here to attach a premium to the valuations for a buyer who has no other choice. Now, if this was a commercial operator, we'd be wringing every possible dollar out of them, as we should. And the same applies, even if it is the Crown, we need to wring every possible dollar out of them in the valuation, make sure there's a premium paid, they have no other choice, because every dollar counts. So I'd like to see that come through in the quarterly status reports.
Thank you. Point noted. Councillor Clow.
Letitia may not be able to answer that, but my understanding is this land was previously was designated parkland. We then purchased, the Parks Department decided it wasn't in the right spot, and we purchased 18 months ago a bigger chunk of land next door, and this was always deemed to be surplus and was to cover the purchase of that park. Can you confirm that, Letitia?
I will just look through the notes that I have here.
I think that's what the Park Department did. I think that's why
So
the
really the
Parks
point
Department
point I'm making is this is really a sale to go into the consolidated pot to pay for the parkland we did purchase next door, and where Parks are going to put a large park.
Just noting the resolution of the Waitakere City Council of 10th October 2007. This was acquired for the purpose of creating a future urban development area. So there is a site that will be parkland, the rear of the site, and also adjacent to it.
And on the land we bought. Yep.
I think it's on the map on page 13. Yep. Right, it's been moved and seconded. I'll put the motion. All those in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried. Thank you very much. And Letitia, have a good Christmas and holiday. Hope you're getting a break.
Thank you
You've done
very
very
much.
well this year, and it's been a pleasure working with you.
Thank
Look forward to
you.
next year.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair, and Merry Christmas, everyone, and I hope you
Thank
have a
you.
very, very good break. Very well deserved for all of you.
Thank you. And you too, Caitlin. Right, we have item number 10.